are tuned into the greatest. Yeah, yeah. We live. Tanya Banks Show.
Hi, my name is Tanya Banks, and I'm standing here from the Tanya Banks Show with Mr. Larry Krasner, the District Attorney of Philadelphia. Congratulations on your election. I'm so glad you won. You are really a good DA, and I did vote for you. So I just want to ask you a few questions. I don't want to hold up your time because I know you have things to do with, the city. But I would like to know, why is it so important for you to be here at this event, and what does this event mean to you, Larry?
So, Tanya, thank you, and thank you for your vote. I am delighted to be here because this is how the work gets done. You got to talk to people in the community. You got to work with people in the community. It's really people in the community who change culture. And we have to change our criminal justice culture so that it is accurate, so that innocent people stay out of jail, and people who actually did the crime are the ones who end up in jail, so that we move towards prevention and away from mass incarceration. So I know where the power is. It's not with me. The power is with people. And therefore, I have to support the people any way I can to get things done.
Now, as a resident of Philadelphia, what do you think that we can do and what I could do on my talk show to help this city?
Well, one really important thing we can do is we can understand the power of the vote. It is the power of the vote in 2017 and in 21 that is going to make sure that Philly is changing, and we are changing in really serious ways. It is also organizing. It is being out there, spreading the word. It's advocating for what you believe in, but it's also letting people in government know that they're accountable. Our DAs need to know they're accountable, but so do our police commissioners, and so do our mayors.
Yes.
And so do our elected officials in the legislature. They got to know they're accountable. You let them know that, they're going to be listening.
Okay, Larry, I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate your interview. It's really important to me. I lost my son in 2013 to gun violence, so this really means a lot to me also. And I'm glad I can stand here with the district attorney. I never met you, but it's really a pleasure to really know that you are really for the people. And I thank you for being here.
Tanya, thank you so much. It's great to see you, and I'm so sorry about your child.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, Tanya.
Take the stage. All right, so here's Tanya Banks. Let's welcome her to the stage right now, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her company and what they do. Come on, give it up for Tanya Banks. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, everyone. It's an honor for me to be here. Thank you, Chinchilla. Now, I'm just going to briefly just tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Tanya Banks from Banks Productions. We have a production company throughout the city of Philadelphia. We cater to the youth. Also, in 2013, my son was killed. He was murdered. So I'm an advocate for nonviolence. I'm an advocate for the youth. I'm an advocate for a lot of different programs in the city of Philadelphia. We are a performing arts program where we do plays, movies, TV shows. I have my own talk show. We also have youth that are involved in the production also. We have actors that are juvenile actors. We have actors that are grown. We do everything here. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I have prepared a scene from one of my plays. My play, Looking Up, is about the youth, and I also have a play, Women Under Fire, which is about women being abused. It's going to be brief. I hope you enjoy it. And the name of the scene is called Second Chance.
Hey, Rhoda! Rhoda! Woman, don't you hear me calling you?
Yes, ma'am. What's going on?
What took you so long to answer the door?
Can I sit down?
Did I say you can sit down? No. What took you so long from answering the door?
I'm tired and I'm hungry, man.
And what that mean?
I was going to get the door, okay?
Sit down. I need to talk to you anyway. Sit down.
I don't want to sit down, man.
I said sit down. Now, listen. I know things has been rough between me and you throughout these years. Yeah, I know. And I know you blame me for stuff for you using, but I didn't force you to do it. Like, I don't get it. I was locked up for 10 years. trying to provide for you. Because you're supposed to be my woman. You my property. And while I was incarcerated, you ain't text me, you ain't call me, you ain't come to see me, you ain't even put no money on my books. And now you over here thinking that just because you got this little thing going on right now, you going up and stuff and leave me? Are you serious? You ain't going nowhere.
You know what, man? I'm going to give you that, okay? Yes, I had a good life. All right, but then I started using. Yes, I blame you. You're the one that introduced me to this stuff. I was supposed to go to school. I was supposed to be a registered nurse, but you messed that up for me.
First of all, woman, why you talking like you gonna leave me or something?
Man,
If you move out that chair one more time, boy, I swear. Now you owe me money, Rhoda. Where is my money?
man, look, I will pay you back everything that I owe you. Just leave me alone. Just please, just leave me alone.
You know what? I'm not gonna leave you alone. It's too late for all that. You an addict, Rhoda. And you know that from the brick. Once an addict, always an addict. Move this chair out the way. We don't need this furniture right now. Oh, lest you forgot. Don't you remember when I put them 52 stitches up in your head? After breaking your head over with that bottle because you wasn't listening to me? You remember? Or did you forget? That's why you keep covering your head to block the scar.
I'm not afraid of you no more, man. I'm not.
Oh, really?
I'm just trying to understand why you keep doing this to me. I can't believe you keep doing this to me.
Well, believe it. You know what? You say you're not scared of me?
Come on.
You say you're not scared of me?
Come on.
You say you
Come
what?
on, man.
What you saying?
Come on.
What you saying? What's up? Huh? What you trying to say, Rhoda?
I'm trying to say that I'm not scared.
What
Now
you saying?
stop!
What you saying? Huh?
I'm not scared.
What you saying?
Get off!
What you saying? Huh?
Get off me!
What?
I'm
What?
not scared.
No, what? What you saying? What? Get out of here. What's wrong with you? Have you lost your mind? Now, as I said before, you know you want something. Now, how much is it you want? What's up?
Oh, what the?
Well, girl, you better take that hit.
No!
What you think you doing? Woman, if you ever think about calling the police, I will end you. I will end you. I will end your son, your moms, your entire family. Keep playing with me. This is my phone anyway. I'm the one that paid the bill on this phone. That's why you would get your phone back. I'm confiscating this. It's mine now.
Oh my
It's
God,
mine.
man.
Sit down and take the hit. No, sit your behind down and take the hit.
Right.
I'm not playing with you no more.
All right.
Think she is. Believe this girl? Like,
What you doing here?
what you mean what I'm doing here?
Didn't I tell you I want to see you again?
Well, you seeing me, so what's good?
No, but what is you doing here, though?
I own her. This is my property.
You don't own nothing.
Oh, yes, I own
Just
nothing.
y'all just
Oh,
stop.
what's up? Oh, what's up? What's up? I'm here. I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm here. You know who I am, too.
I told you I didn't want to see you here no more, bro.
Get up.
You know what? You know what? You got it. I know I got it.
Go. Knock my glasses off. You done knock my glasses off?
Here, take your glasses and go before I hurt you.
You know what?
What I know? What I know?
What I know? Going back to jail for no.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. It's gonna be worse than jail next time.
You know what, brother? You gonna see me. You gonna see me when you least expect it.
Yeah, all right.
Sit down. Sit down.
Now, Omar, now you listen, I know that I had you when I was 15 and everything, but you're still my son. You cannot talk to me like that.
How I'm supposed to talk to you when you keep doing the same thing? I talk to you nice, you got him around. So now what I gotta do? So now I gotta yell at you because you keep bringing them around. You got a new job, you left him, and now you asking him to come around for what?
I just be tired.
I'm tired. I already went to jail for you once. I'm not going back. I'm tired. Mom, I don't want to yell. I don't want to yell at you, but you're making it hard for you. Can you promise me that he will not come back in this house, please?
I promise.
You don't sound too convincing, Mom.
It's just it'd be hard. It'd be hard.
No, it's not. No, it's not hard. It's not hard. You and I both know it's not hard. You know why he's here, and you know why you keep asking him to come back, and so do I. And I'm not having it no more. So please, just promise.
Okay. I promise.
You swear? Do you swear?
I swear. I promise.
Okay. All right.
I love you.
All right, love you too.
Good job, TJ.
The reason why I picked this scene, Second Chance, is because this is a lot of families. And this is my nephew, Lance. And Lance has been with my production company since he was 18. So he could be doing anything. He looks like a whole lot of other guys, dreads, hat. It could be out there shooting people. But he chose to do something positive. So the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of juvenile lifers are going to jail for situations like this, where they don't want to always be put in situations like this, but because that's their mom. They love their mom, and they're going to protect their mom. So this is a good route. This is why we did this last night, and we wanted to represent Banks Productions and also juvenile lifers. Give our actors a round of applause. I'm going to introduce them. The mean one, the drug dealer, Carl. Everybody loves to hate him. My nephew, Lance Barksdale. He looks young, but he's actually 29.
That's half the age of me. Young baby. Y'all get around.
And my beautiful actress, Nicole Yvette. She is one of my star actresses in a lot of my productions. She is so talented.
Yes, yes.
And also my soloist, Mr. Bryant Lamar Bryant. They're all part of Banks Productions. And my friend with the psychedelic jacket on, who will not let me not say his name and have him come up and speak. I'm going to have him come up and speak. But this is part of my production. This is just a little smidgen of what we do. And I hope you enjoy it. Come on, Keith, say something real quick. You can come up. Walk up. Let everybody see that jacket.
Yes, it is.
Looks like you should be like ready up here already. You should be the first up here with that jacket.
Are you excited? I didn't hear y'all. Are y'all excited? My name is Keith Crippen, and I'm the only fashion show corporation in the nation that does theatrical fashion performance shows. I do not do runway shows. So it's a whole production show. So I do shows of fashion and not fashion shows. So when I do shows, I do lasers, special effects, the whole 9 yards. And I am the model choreographer. I've done shows for 20 people up to 20,000 people. My next show is July 17th, and that will be called The Collision. It will be comedy with fashion. But this will be a whole different type of show. My last show I did on Memorial Day. I had about 200 people there, but I had 4,200 people watching the show. 4,200. So right now it's to the point that I'm just trying to let y'all know this thing is one of a kind. This is something you've never seen before. In 2006, I got an award from the president for the work that I've done. And I'm the only fashion show corporation in the nation that's auditioned with America's Got Talent twice. So it's really nice when you see it. So I just want to let y'all know, my show is going to be at Treasures on July 17th. So please, I give y'all cards. If y'all want to, please come see this. You're not going to be upset with this. This is going to be one of a kind right here. But I need y'all to get excited because y'all look too tired. Can y'all make some noise out there? Yeah. That's how I got to do it. I got to do this every time to make people get excited. Y'all look too dead like y'all want a drink. I got some Hennessy in the car. Anybody want a shot? Okay. Nobody want a shot? Okay. I got you. But I just wanted to say a little bit, and that was it. But y'all take care. I'll get my business card out to everybody, then we go from there. Okay.
Thank y'all so much. He is a Minister Lamar Bryan. Come on, let's give it up for him right now as he comes.
To God be the glory. Amen. To God be the glory. Before I get started, I just wanted to say that I'm here to give inspiration to the family of those that are incarcerated, those who have been falsely incarcerated, and I'm here to give encouragement to those who are in there feeling like they just don't want to live because of the situation. They feel like there's no hope because of the situation. They feel like there's no change. So, again, my name is Minister Lamar Bryan. I am part of Tanya Banks Productions, and I'm coming out with my new single called Calling Out to You. And before I get into that, calling out is basically saying, how many of y'all can say that y'all call out to God? How many of y'all can say y'all call out to God? Not just when you need something, when something is not going right in your life, and there's nobody else you can call out to. Because God is the answer. So he just gave me this song, and I'm getting ready to start it now. I'm ready. That's the wrong one. I'm not a rapper. It's calling out to you. Yes, sir. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Dear Lord, can I talk to you? I have so much to say, 'cause it feels like I lost my way. I tried and I tried to do what's right, but the devil just keeps giving me a fight. Lord, I need you now, 'cause I don't know what to do. So here I am, calling out to you. Lord, I need you now. I need you right now. So here I am, calling out to you. Sometimes I think to myself, where could I be? Knowing that you're right here with me. So what have I done to feel this way? Knowing that you bring bitter days. Lord, I need you. I don't know what to do. So here I am, calling out to you. and live in peace and harmony. Lord, I need you now. Here I am. I'm calling out to you. I'm standing right here. I'm standing right here. Raising my hands to you. Sometimes I don't know what to do. Lord, I can only call on you. When I'm going through the things that I'm going through, I can only call out to you. Calling out to you. Yeah. I'm calling out to you, Lord. Hallelujah. I'm calling out to you, Lord. I'm calling out to you, Lord. Yes. I'm calling out to you, Lord. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Without God, there's no us. Do you understand that? Without God, there's no us. And if we don't trust in the Lord, how are we going to be able to do what we need to do for our children? How are we going to be able to do what we need to do for our children if we don't trust in the Lord on what He are going to do for us? Amen? I got this second song, and it's, you got it on there? Yeah. Now, this song, man, God had me write this song a long time ago, and I just went into my basement, wiped the dust off of it and said, okay, what you need me to use this for? The song is called Don't Give Up. And it's basically saying everything. Don't give up on your hopes. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on things that you want to happen and for your life. And I hope y'all enjoy this one. When you feel like you just can't seem to get it together, don't give up on God, because He won't give up on you. When you're feeling all alone and you're all on your own, saying you don't want to live no more, and you just about had enough with so much stuff, but God is knocking at your door. Just hold on and be strong. He will make a way for you. Lean on Him and trust Him. For the Lord is the truth. Don't give up on God. 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 See, you might think He's not around, but take a look and see. He has been with you faithfully. Just hold on and be strong. He will make a way for you. Lean on Him and trust Him. For the Lord is the truth. Don't give up on God. 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 Check it out. Think back what He done for you, the pain that He took for you. Don't complain and hold on. God will make a way. Hey, think back what He done for you, the pain that He took for you. Don't complain and hold on. God will make a way. Hey, think back what He done for you, the pain that He took for you. Don't complain and hold on. God will make a way for you. See, your purpose in life is what He asks of you. He gave you a wonderful gift to use. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not into your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever shall believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Don't give up on God. Don't give up on God. Say it again. Don't give up. Hey, don't give up on him, because he will handle all you need. Don't give up. No. Don't give up on God. If you know God like I do, don't give up on him, because he will handle all your needs. Yes, he will. Hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I am Tanya Banks from the Tanya Banks Show. I am here with the event right here on inside Philadelphia. I am with the gentleman here, Donnell Drinks. Now, Donnell, what organization are you from, and why are you here at this event about people who are incarcerated wrongly? Why is it important to you for you to represent what you represent from your company? And just tell us a little bit about your company and what you do there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Donnell Drinks. I represent GROWN, which is an acronym for Gaining Respect Over Our Worst Nights. It's a justice impact led organization that we use as a catalyst to empower people in their reentry process. But not only that, we also, your worst night could have been a victimization. So we use it as a catalyst to help and empower people in our community. We run mentoring programs, employment opportunities. There's a lot of different facets to what we do. The reason it was important for me to be here is I'm formerly incarcerated. I served 27 and a half years as a juvenile. And for me, I think I epitomize second chance. I epitomize the opportunity to give back to our community. Our whole organization does. So when I say I'm only standing here in that sense, but I represent a whole. And so I'm here now representing the many men and women that deserve second chances, and many that don't believe should have a first chance in the first place, because a lot of them went to jail as children.
Okay.
And the disparity on how we treat our children in this country is ridiculous.
That is so true. And where are you located for people who are in need to be able to get in contact with you?
Well, we have a website, grown, www.wearegrown.org. I could be located. We got a Facebook group, Grown, and we out of the Leon Sullivan building on Broad Street. We do mentoring. That's our brick and mortar. But we are accessible by coming to the community and doing different things. Our whole thing is intervention, prevention. But the difference is we don't do conflict resolution, because I believe that that's a misnomer that we have our kids trying to resolve stuff. We do conflict management.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this and doing this organization?
Well,
how long has it been in existence?
Our organization has been in existence in this form for almost 3 years.
Okay.
In this form.
All right, that sounds great. And I am so glad that you are here. And I hope that you're doing what you want to do. And I really wish you the best and success in what you're doing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you. And this is Tanya Banks from the Tanya Banks Show, live. Hi, and this is Tanya Banks from the Tanya Banks Show. He's so ready to get started and want to talk. Listen, what is your name?
My name is Shane Heisman.
And why is it so important that you are here? And what is your story and your definition of why you think it's important to represent what you represent today?
Well, I represent a lot of people. First and foremost, I represent the community.
Okay.
And I'm an advocate for at-risk and troubled youth, and about prison reform. I think it's very important. My main thing is about having fair trials and for people constitutional rights to be protected. Because it's more often than not, uh, prior to Larry Krasner getting into office, a lot of the district attorneys and judges used to use the courtrooms as trap houses and get people, astronomical time, didn't disclose proper evidence, things of that nature. And I think it's very wrong to sentence a juvenile to life. Now, there are certain circumstances that are exceptional to that rule, but in general, I think that a juvenile should be treated as a juvenile. I'm an advocate of that. In scientific discovery and facts have, shared has resulted in that a juvenile's mind is not fully developed.
Right. At age 15, he's not actually a man.
Right.
So
He
you
does not
feel,
just no, not just a man, but physically he could be, or
but
even older.
mentally.
Mentally, not even. I think they had the scientific research on that was up to the age of like 21 or something like that. Is that correct, Khan? Uh, this is my brother right here, Ali Khan, and he served as a juvenile lifer.
Okay.
Me myself, I did 24 and a half years.
24 and a half years. And when
Long
did you get
years.
out?
I came home 2018.
Okay.
I got my own disinfect company.
Okay, good.
S&J Disinfect Guys. I'm currently a safety supervisor for a construction company that builds Amazons. So, just because a person may have made a mistake in the past or was wrongly convicted doesn't mean that they can't come out here in society without and be productive.
And that is so true because I used to work at the prison. I worked on State Road.
Okay.
So I met a lot of guys that was incarcerated, and they're very intelligent. Some of the most important and also brightest guys are incarcerated. So I do agree that everyone isn't what you quote unquote say a criminal. People do make a mistake.
And real quick, I would just like to also say to the people out there, it seems like in the communities it's not popular to support or advocate for the voiceless who are in prison. But this is something that we're passionate about, and we're going to speak out for it because we know that when it's not popular, uh, a lot of things could be done wrong. A lot of miscarriages of justice, a lot of constitutional rights could be violated, and that's what we don't want to happen. If a person commits a crime and they deserve to be punished for that crime, I support that. I'm not an advocate of somebody committing a crime and getting a slap on the wrist, but I am an advocate of a person getting their constitutional rights protected. And a lot of times in the city of Philadelphia, when you go to Lynn Abraham or you go to the boy Williams, what's his name, Seth Williams or something like that, Steph Williams and Carlos Vega, them
Yes.
guys are very, very vicious. Vicious. To them, conviction, getting a conviction is like a drug dealer flipping a brick. They do it at all costs. So we have to be there. We have to protect the criminal justice system, and we have to be supporters and advocates of reform. But here, let my brother Khan speak his piece. He's a very wonderful and beautiful brother.
Welcome to the Tanya Banks Show. It's an honor to be
Thanks.
here, and it's an honor to meet you. Now, you were a juvenile lifer.
Yes.
Now, how old were you when you were convicted?
I was actually 15 when I went in, and I was 40 when I got out.
Wow, that's a long time. And we're not going to get into what happened, but what adjustments have you made because you were just a child?
I was, but I think that I made the decision while still incarcerated to not be there. And although I had to physically be there, I said that I'm going to educate myself and I'm going to prepare myself for the moment that I can come home, if I'm able to come home.
Yes.
It served me well.
And how long have you been home?
2.5 years.
Okay, and are you doing anything now, or what are your plans?
Yeah,
What are your
so
goals?
I actually, I'm a labor foreman for a construction company.
Okay, I can see
And
it.
I just started, thank you. I just started my own little maintenance company.
Oh, that's
So
great.
I'm in charge of maintaining 13 sites as it stand now.
That is a great accomplishment. And when you were in there, did you think about when you knew you were getting ready to come home, the plans of things that you thought that you might want to do? Because think about it, 15, everything was so different when you came home. I mean, we have computers, we have up to date, all kind of stuff, all kind of cell phones. Everything has changed.
I think one of the most pivotal conversations that I had dealing with that particular subject was a friend of mine. He was released and came home.
Okay.
So I was asking him, like, how is it with regards to planning and things, because I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? I want to make plans and be prepared. So he said to me, he said that make plans. Your plans probably won't work, but if you come out without a plan, then you're coming out to fail. He said, as long as you have that plan, even though it may not work, you have some structure.
And that is good. And you had a good support system?
Served me right. Yes, I did.
I want to ask you a question. What would you say to the young guys who are killing each other in the city of Philadelphia? What is the message that you would say to them so they wouldn't be in a situation like you? Because all you hear about is gun violence. My son was murdered in 2013. He was only 20 years old. So, what would you say to these young guys today in Philadelphia? Because they're saying that Philadelphia is one of the worst cities in the United States. What would you say to them?
I think that I always, when I was out there in the streets, I never went to bed and woke up in the morning thinking that I may be killed today or I may be sitting in jail for the rest of my life. It can happen. You can wake up and realize that you're in prison for the rest of your life. And one of the most pivotal things I think with regards to my outlook and perception of things was it was a class that we took while I was incarcerated called Impact of Crime Victim Awareness.
Okay.
And in this particular group, they had some parents come in who were survivors of gun violence and homicides. And just to know how and see how that made someone's mother and loved ones feel, I can only imagine. I can only imagine how that I was responsible for making someone feel like this.
And that's so funny you said that because I'm a mother whose son was killed. And it was 8 years ago. And actually, his anniversary is coming up this June 17th. So, and I have my own production company. When I go talk, I'm going to let everybody know what I do. But I did a documentary about him because basically, a lot of people don't understand the mindset of why a lot of people do what they do, the environment. And that's what we're going to show today. But it's really hard in the city. Now, did you have a father? Were you from a single parent home?
Well,
Or did you have a stepfather or a mentor? Did you have anyone in your life that was guiding you along the way?
surprisingly, yeah, my father who was murdered in front of my face miraculously, right? But he was in the streets real heavy. He was in the streets real heavy, and although he was in the streets, he tried his hardest to keep me away from it.
Right,
At all costs. If he would see me looking at anything that was remotely street, he was in my behind about it.
right.
But he was he was killed from the streets,
Sorry to hear that.
and so I think that coming up, I felt like that was my father, so I had a duty to uphold his name and image.
Right, right. Okay.
And the question I believe was, what would I say to a lot of the young brothers out here with the violence and the shootings and the killing? Well, I would say this. I know a friend of mine. He's a retired prison guard. Me and him got real close when I was doing my time, and he happened to post one day and he said, "Man, if you love somebody, give them a Black History book." I think part of it is that we don't know our history as a people. I think that we're emotional, and I think that we need to just sit down and calm down and be patient and think before we react. Everything don't have to result in a death penalty. So I would suggest for the brothers out there that's running around, it's not cool. Believe me when I tell you it's not cool because eventually, man, when you get killed yourself or you in prison, the whole thing changes. The whole reality changed. When I was a young guy and I was in the street, I used to think that the harder you are, the most vicious you are, that's the only way to survive. It's like as if we in a jungle. But
So it was like image.
no, it was like get the steak.
Okay.
It was like get the steak and put it on your plate.
Right.
No, nothing image about that.
Okay.
So, but now I've learned how to get the steak and put it on my plate
All right.
and still be a man of character and principles and honorable. I think that's real important. I think a lot of times people run around with the mentality, oh, I got to get over. I got to steal the steak. I got to kill for the steak. No, we got ideals for the steak. Sister right here got her own production company for the steak. I got my own business for the steak. It's all about just learning and educating yourself. And I didn't have no mentors. I didn't have no step pops. I grew up in a very, very violent home, abusive home, with domestic violence with my mom, shootings inside the house, drugs inside the house, um, what you call it, shelters, multiple shelters. I've been in over probably like 15, 20 schools in the city. So I am an example of, coming inside the house and your mom getting high. Love my mom to death, may she rest in peace, but that's the truth.
Right.
She struggled with a drug addiction.
This is a reality.
Yeah, I'm 46, so I was the one that had to make sure that my siblings ate and make sure that my mom was okay, and you know, I just had to do it the best way I knew how. However, when I did get incarcerated for all them years, I did educate myself. I think education is very important. I think if we could bring back like corresponding courses and things of that nature, where people, with brothers and sisters, can earn associate degrees and things like that while they're in prison, it would be beneficial for the community upon their release.
Yeah, because they used to have a lot of programs
Oh
in
yes,
prison,
people
and
could
now
become
and
get a bachelor's degree in
and
prison.
they don't have that now.
No, 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 no. They stripped all that. So the thing is, one of the things right now, you may be running around in the street carrying guns on. You can't wait to put somebody down. That's a bad mentality. Lift somebody up. It's easy to destroy. You know, I never really respect anybody that run around killing people and all that, because they don't mean nothing. But save a life. Try that one.
Exactly.
Raise a man. Try that one.
Exactly.
You know, raise your sister. Try that one. It's a lot harder. It takes more
Yes,
responsibility.
it does.
So I would say, a lot of times when people get into prison and the music stop, the drugs is no more around, and you sitting there, in your cell, and you looking around, you start to say, "Oh, let me read this book. Let me watch this Discovery Channel. Let me work on my craft, my art." And you start to see things that you're capable of and got the potential for, that you didn't have the time to do when you was out here in the street because you was closed minded.
Well, I am so glad that you're here. I am so glad I did your interview.
Likewise, sister.
And I'm so glad that both of y'all are doing some positive things and y'all
Yeah.
are some really positive brothers.
Thank you.
I wish y'all the best. I'm sorry
Likewise.
what happened to y'all, but you have a future. It's not where you've been, it's where you're going.
Right, and I would say don't be sorry, because all I'm doing is, all we all doing, no matter where you're at in life, you're just taking the path that God is putting you on,
And that's exactly right.
and eventually it's gonna manifest itself.
Well, I'm so glad I could put a smile on your face.
Hell yeah, okay,
You know,
likewise.
but
It
I
was a
thank you
pleasure.
so much for being here and allowing me to. Do you have some last words or?
Yeah, just one last thing. We refer to ourselves as demons now. We supposed to be men and women of God, man. How did we get to a state where we refer to ourselves as demons and be okay with it?
So that's a new term now. Yeah, that's really bad. That's really bad. We have to change that. We have to change that mentality.
Yes, we have to.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to change. This is why we're here. We have some good people here, and hopefully we make a change. I thank you so much for being here. It's a
Thank you
pleasure
for having me.
of just talking to you. It gives me a lot of inspiration about what happened to my son, and then seeing that you're smiling, and that's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is Tanya Banks of the Tanya Banks Show. Thank you very much. Hi, this is Tanya Banks of the Tanya Banks Show. I am here with Ant Brown. Ant Brown represents a whole lot of things, and I'm gonna let him explain to you exactly why he's here and what this event means to him.
My name is. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Ant Brown. I'm a creative entrepreneur, founder of Abro Inc. It's a creative arts initiative. It's a nonprofit, and we basically use entertainment to help create social structure within the inner cities and influence social change. Our mission is to service the youth, influence social change, and capture the moments such as content. I also have a clothing line, which is the LLC. That's A Bro Fit LLC. I got on a shirt right now. And everything that I do basically pertains on helping the youth and mentoring them of some sort. Um, I have a lot of different accolades. I'm also a radio personality on WURD 96.1 FM, 900 AM. And what I use my platform to do is to bring different millennials and different young people who are doing the same similar type of work that I'm doing to help give them a bigger platform.
Right, and that is so great. And how old are you? And when did you start doing this? And why? What made you want to do something like this in the city of Philadelphia?
26 years old. I've been doing this for probably like 3 to 4 years, I think. But everything started like press wise. Everything started to pick up within like the last 2 years. And what got me into this work, I think, is just my connection just with people, like especially young people, and understanding that hip hop and entertainment is a community organizing tool and utilizing that to educate them. So I think just the fact that I wanted to be an educator and I had like gifts, talents, what you'll call it, and I wanted to figure out a way to combine those two to help bring social change. As the time start to go on, I start to figure out more of our underlying problems as young black people, and I started to figure out different ways to utilize my mediums on advocating on these different topics, such as bullying, multi-generational trauma, gun violence, etc., etc.
Okay, and that's good because a lot of young people are visual. So when they look at you and they see a young guy, 26 years old, the same age that they are, doing what you're doing, positive things. I saw you on television, I saw you rapping. And I recognized you when I saw you out here, and I said, I definitely want to do this interview because it's really not common in the city of Philadelphia to see a young man like you picking up a mic. And a lot of raps, they talk violence. You're talking something positive, something that they need to hear. And this is the difference and the change that we need. And I am so glad that you're doing these things. And I would love to have you rap, but we don't have the time. But I'm definitely going to invite you on my show.
I would
And
love
I'm
to
going to
come.
definitely follow you and make sure that I get you on my show so you can perform. And I really appreciate you, Tom, and I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, thank you. And I just want to touch specifically on why I utilize uh, positive rap, what they consider, I call it balanced rap, meaning like I'm not going to just sugarcoat everything that goes on just to make it quote unquote positive, but I do want to address different things that we go to, different things that we see and we go through in our community, just more so in a cause and effect type of way, opposed to just glorifying the effect. So if I talk about gun violence, I'm also going to address the broken households that we come up in and the environments that we come up in that got us into being fascinated with gun violence. And specifically, I know the hip hop culture is kind of like under attack. What I would say, like they're using it as a vehicle to drive our young people insane, if you'll call it. So when we see these young people, like if you pay attention to the entertainment industry, you see a pattern on on the behaviors that these young people carry, as well as the way they dress, the language that they use, what they call lingo, and the way that what they're doing in their videos, etc., just to get publicity. So what I'm trying to do is just bring balance, like, and help kind of reverse that, or show these young people like you can get on TV, you can get on radio, you can get all of these accolades if you want to do a positive thing, just sticking to your mission. And I love to come on your show.
And I am so proud that you are really taking out the time to do this for the young people because we are really in a critical time in Philadelphia. So, if you only had 3 words to say, or maybe 5, to say to someone, maybe someone will see this story about you, a young guy, maybe 15 years old, they have a gun in his hand. What would you say to him when he feel that he has to be this big time guy? He has to have this image to go out there and still Philadelphia and maybe rob somebody or sell drugs and think that life is just over and he just don't care. He don't care if he go to prison. He don't care if he dies. A lot of people feel that, your life is over and if you live to be 25, you're lucky. What would you say to someone like that is that's watching this video and this interview right now? What would you say to him?
I say, I know you said like within like 5 words. I say, you know, find your purpose and be yourself. I think a lot of just find your purpose and be yourself. Cause I think when you see a lot of young guys getting involved into the streets, these are just behaviors that they have developed, and also it's a lifestyle that has been so glorified. Young black men is psychological. We always look for male figures, male mentorship of some sort. Even the guys who's 15 picking up a gun and trying to impress the old heads, what we call it in the hood, they still looking for mentorship. They still looking for that big brother, that older male figure to kind of like take them under the wing. The problem is they getting taken under the wrong wing, or they doing the wrong things. So if they really is secure with themselves to be themselves, they will be okay with just getting a job or just being an entrepreneur. And that's why, like, when people announce me as a rapper, now I start to make sure that I like let them know, like, all right, I'm a creative entrepreneur. I use my creativity to create different sources of income for myself, and everybody has that ability to do that. So I feel like, just be yourself. And as you be yourself, you gonna unlock different characters that you have that you don't know is really beneficial to the world. So these young black men, to be specifically, when they get into these, they just byproducts. They just byproducts of their environment. So it's like, if all of my OGs, all of the girls, like the people like that's been glorifying negative behavior, of course I'm gonna follow it because I feel like that's what I need to do to be able to be something. But I'm here to tell you that you really can do whatever you want. I was just in New York. I was on Shade 45. I do all this without even cursing in my music. So I just want them to know that anything is possible if you pitch your mind to it. And I'll leave with this. I believe in everything in life get manifested from out of creation one to creation two. Creation one is the thought, and creation two is what you manifest physically. So, for example, like You know, you thought about this idea to have this show. That was the first creation. The manifestation was getting the guy behind the camera, saying how much the camera
Exactly.
costs, writing down, okay, this is how we gonna run. So just like anything in life, you know, I thought about being a mentor to the youth, and then my manifestation was, okay, I need to create a school tour. I need to create X, Y, and Z. I need to go in the criminal justice system. So all I would say is, if you truly believe in yourself and just put that work in, everybody is unique in their own way. This is a huge universe. Like, there's no specific way of doing things. So you make more money getting yourself out of the street opposed to being in the streets. So be yourself and follow your purpose.
I really appreciate you. And I really wish you a lot of success. And just like I said, I am going to definitely have you on my show.
Yeah, I would love to come.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining me on the Tanya Banks Show.
Thank you.
All right. Hi, this is Tanya Banks from the Tanya Banks Show. I am here with Chinchilla. She is the one that organized this great event. Now, Chinchilla, what made you organize this great event and have all these different people and all different organizations? And what do you think this stands for? And you have these two gentlemen, which I'm going to introduce in a minute. But we're going to talk to you first. Okay?
All right. Well, I organized this event, number one, because of all of the wrongs here in the state of Pennsylvania. The state of Pennsylvania is the worst state in this country, in my book. We have the most juvenile lifers in this state. We have the most mass incarceration in this state and the most wrongfully convicted individuals in this state. And the criminal justice system here has to change. And it's not about reforming it, because reforming is taking something that's already there and just trying to mold it and, make it a little different. This criminal justice system needs to be totally torn apart and redone. Okay, so that's why I call this a Be a Voice for those who do not have a voice. And also, let me take this off. Criminal Justice Reborn, because we had to rebirth this criminal justice system.
That is so true.
One city at a time. And I probably got all kinds of things on my face from this mask.
Lines, I tell you, the mask thing.
Yeah, the mask indentions. But
that's all right.
This criminal justice system is horrible. It needs to be rebirthed one city at a time. And it's going to take people, Tanya, to do this. And people working together, coming together for one purpose only, and that is to reconstruct, rebirth this whole criminal justice system, because it's terrible. And we need to make sure that there are things in place for our youth, because it starts with the young people. If we can reach them while they're young and give them positive things to do, then we can start there. Because a lot of these kids don't have anything to do.
And I agree, because this is what my company is about that I'm going to explain a little bit later. Okay. Other than the Tanya Banks Show, I do have Banks Productions.
Okay.
And this is what we're all about. But continue.
Okay. All right. So we need to take these young kids. We need to redo their whole minds. Their minds need to be changed, because a lot of these older people, they're stuck in their ways. And, it's too late for some of them to actually have a different mindset. But these young children, they're very impressionable. So we can get them when they're young, and they like to model after people. And they need role models to model after, Tanya, and not these rappers out here that are talking about drugs, sex, and violence. Okay?
That is so true.
Because that's what they see, and that's what they live today. And we have to stop them from looking at those things, because that is planting negative seeds in their mind.
True.
So if we can reach them young, that's a piece of what we do. But now, to rebirth this criminal justice system, we need to take and look at each area of this criminal justice system and break it all down, tear it apart, rip it apart, and find ways for each area to be rebirthed and reborn. So that's why I call it Criminal Justice Reborn. And our organization is Right to Wrong Coalition, which is righting the wrongs, because Pennsylvania has too many wrongs in this state that they need to right. One, to exonerate the
That's all right. Take your time.
I have not had any sleep all week, Tanya.
That's okay.
To compensate those who have been exonerated, okay? Which Pennsylvania is one of 13 states in this country that do not compensate their exonerated. And it's so sad. It is so sad. Donnell Drinks, introduce him. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, forgive me. So I guess therefore I have to be edited out.
That's all right.
Okay. So anyway, I'm like one person, y'all, and it's like I need five of me. Okay.
That's all right. You're doing great.
So I don't even know what was I just saying, Tanya. What was the last thing I just said?
I don't know, but just go ahead.
Okay.
Who are these gentlemen that's with you today?
Okay, come on over here. So, oh yeah, I was saying we have to compensate the exonerate because Pennsylvania is one of 13 states that don't compensate the exonerated. They let them out once they find that they're not guilty. A lot of these men have been wrongfully incarcerated for between 10 years all the way up to 51 years, Tanya.
That's a long time.
And Pennsylvania does not offer them any compensation. They put them out on the street. Some of them in the middle of the night, they let them out and say, "Hey, you're free. Go home," with nothing, no
And
money.
sometimes they don't have a home to go
No,
to.
exactly. No home to go to, no money in their pocket. The only thing they have is what they came in with. And mind you, some of them been in since they were teenagers. So that means the clothes that they wore in the prison, they leave out, they can't even fit those no more, Tanya.
Exactly.
Okay? And so it's so sad what Pennsylvania does to these men and women. And so we're here today to be a voice for them, to try to demand that Pennsylvania compensates the exonerated. And right now we're working on with some bills with Christopher Rabb, who is a state representative here, and also State Representative Regina Young. She has actually introduced a bill, but it's not like where we want it to be at yet. So,
Okay.
And she doesn't mind working with our organizations to, get that bill to where it should be. And so that's what we're doing. And out here today, we have voices of the wrongfully incarcerated, who are men and women out here advocating for their loved ones that are right now wrongfully incarcerated. So some of them will be taking the stage today, talking and
Okay.
sharing, and some juvenile lifers as well.
Yes.
And you got to interview some of
Yeah,
them, right?
yes.
Yeah. And so
Their
stories,
their
oh my
stories
gosh.
were, I mean, it's amazing how they can
Yes.
actually come out and really prosper.
Yes.
To go in when you're 15 years
Yep.
old and to come out, it's like a new world.
Yes, it definitely is. It's totally new, and a lot of them have been in, and they come out. They don't know nothing about this modern technology and stuff.
Exactly.
It's so sad, and it's a shame. So anyway, next to me here is Keontae Ricks. So I'm going to pass you the mic, Keontae, and come on over. You take it over here. I'm not going to run back over here. Okay.
Okay, she's
All
so
right.
busy, but she's going to run over. But thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
thank
taking
you,
out the time
Tanya.
in your busy
Okay.
schedule and continue with the show.
Okay, and thank you for coming out today, Tanya, and for just supporting the way you
Yes.
are. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, now introduce yourself?
My name is Keontae Ricks. I'm
Okay.
from Buffalo, New York. So I'm just basically out here to support the movement in Pennsylvania. I'm also an exoneree. I did 13 years for a crime that never happened. Not that they thought I did it. A crime
So the
that never
crime
happened.
just never
The
happened.
crime never happened.
And so, just briefly, it just never happened, and they just said, "Okay, you did it," and just locked you up.
Well, I was living in Amherst, New York.
Okay.
I had problems with racist police officers. My child's mother was Caucasian. And, they was telling me, like, niggers don't belong in Amherst and different things of that
Okay.
nature. The situation was a manager of a store owed a guy, not me, money for some marijuana, paid the guy the money that he owed him. The manager was supposed to put this money into the bank. Instead of putting the money into the bank, he gave it to the guy, fake like he got robbed. I happened to be a passenger in a whole nother county because the incident happened in Buffalo. The Amherst police hop on the case, had absolutely nothing to do with the case because it was outside of their jurisdiction. And basically, they got me convicted. They prevented all the Buffalo officers from testifying. They threatened the victim, told him if he tell them that I'm innocent, they'll give him 25 years. They threatened every other witness, and they gave me a 20-year sentence for a crime that never happened.
And you believe this happened because of the color of your skin?
Oh, I know that it did, and it's still going on right now. So, but it was a spiritual journey for me. My whole journey was a spiritual
Okay.
journey, and I'm from Buffalo. So,
Okay, and you're representing Philadelphia. I really
well, I
appreciate
live in
that.
Harrisburg, but I'm a part of the prison reform movement.
Okay.
I'm part of different prison reform movements. I got a youth ministry. I have a for-profit LLC where I do paralegal investigation work. I work with the top 40 under 40 trial lawyers in the nation, and a whole lot of other stuff that I'm doing. So I'm really, really active in the
You
community.
are, and I'm so proud to see that you're a black man and you're doing your thing and you were incarcerated. You came out positively doing something positive because a lot of them come out and do the same thing and go right back. But I am so honored to meet you. And who is this gentleman that's with you next to you?
This is one of my business partners. Like we, go to
Okay, y'all in
different
business.
events.
Okay, that's real good. Y'all go to different events and represent what's going on in all different neighborhoods and things like that. Do you go all around different cities
Yeah.
and states?
Yes. I travel. I've been traveling for 4 years. So, most of not he hasn't been in a lot of states with me, but some he definitely.
So you travel a lot of different states because you see the same thing over and over again in a lot of the urban cities happening.
Well, God put the solution in my heart.
Okay.
And the solution is to gather many people as possible, right? And to start filing complaints against these judges for the constitutional and procedural violations. Because I studied law when I was inside. That's why I work with the top 40 under 40 trial lawyers in the nation right now. And what I realized is all of those cases have constitutional and procedural violations in the cases. And if the judge's job is to uphold the Constitution, how are these guys staying in prison? You understand? Like me, I had 12 appeals, well, 13 appeals. I lost 12. How? Without a victim. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
How without a
Yeah.
victim? Like
12,
it doesn't
12 is
make
a lot.
sense. It
Out
doesn't
of
make sense.
13?
Exactly. But if it was groups of people that would file complaints against them judges to say, listen, you're not going to just ignore the law. They got the judicial conduct committee. We're going to file a complaint against you to get you out of office for being in violation of the oath that you swore to uphold when you went into office. You hold the head accountable. The head holds the body accountable.
So why do you think a lot of people don't want to be involved?
Because it hasn't happened to them yet. And they're afraid, and a lot of people feel like it can't happen to them because, I hate to say this, but it's the truth. The people out here are like zombies in a sense. Like they're so just focused on their phones and things that's just not important. They don't care about other people. A majority don't. It is some that do, and I just believe our job is not to focus on the negative aspect of it, but to gather the people that do care, the people like you, the people like Chinchilla, and we just come together and do what we can.
Well, that is good. And who is this that's with you here?
Hello, my name is Anthony Lang Sr. I'm like an entrepreneur. I also am an activist for Keontae and everybody in this community. I live in Harrisburg, PA, but I'm actually from Chicago. To sum it up, me as a black individual, I'm learning more and more. Just life itself is, a lot of us don't know ourselves. And I feel the biggest investment for anybody is us within ourselves. You know what I mean? We were taught wrong. We were understanding that we were fed certain things that wasn't the best, but we have to take our power back. You know what I mean? Today is the time. Everybody's focused on the past and everything that's irrelevant, out of their control. And when you focus on things that's not in your control, you lose what you have in control.
Right.
So me understand just life itself, you have to be a blessing to yourself, so you can be a blessing to others. You know what I mean? But this right here, this is just a first step to better our future. You know what I mean? And I appreciate being here. I'm just trying to play my position.
And I really appreciate that because looking at two positive black brothers, this is what we need. Because back in the day, we used to have, the Big Brothers Association. We don't have that anymore. And we need more brothers like you to step up and to help these youth because they really need help. They're getting younger and younger and younger doing these violent crimes. And they don't realize that they will go to jail for the rest of their life. For some reason, they don't think it'll happen, but it's a reality. And I am so proud to be here to honor what I feel is what we need in the city of Philadelphia. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being on the Tanya Banks Show.
Hey, thank you. Have a blessed day.
All right.
Gerald Everett.
Hi, and this is Tanya Banks from the Tanya Banks Show, and I am here with these two gentlemen who are, you were a juvenile lifer?
No.
No, what were you?
I was adult lifer.
Adult lifer. My bad. Adult lifer.
Yes.
And you are?
Louis Lee, a former juvenile lifer.
This was a juvenile lifer. I got it mixed up. But tell me your story just briefly about what happened and why you are here and why is it so important to you to be at this rally.
Briefly, I was falsely convicted and sent to prison on a life sentence, served 23 and a half years before the United States Supreme Court finally overturned my case unanimously in 2003. And I came home and vowed to fight for men and women lifers who are still serving life sentences in the state of Pennsylvania, more than 6,000 of them.
Okay, those are some serious figures.
Exactly, and I met Lou when I went in. He was 15 when he went in. We became best friends, and I got out 22 years before he did and helped work to get him out.
And now you here.
Now I'm here.
Okay, and this really means a lot to you.
Absolutely.
And how old are you?
I'm 71.
And you were in how long?
23 and a half years.
That's a long time to be
Exactly.
falsely convicted. So I am so glad that you're here. Is there anything that you're doing now? How long have you been out?
18 years.
18 years, okay.
I got out. I worked for the House of Representatives. I was a counselor at Cadencia and drug treatment. And now I'm about to open an office for LIFER, L-I-F-E-R, Lifers Initiative for Early Release, to help men and women lifers get out who've been there 30, 40 plus years.